Hello, today is Friday, April 8th, 2016, and I am your host, Sue Brown, and welcome to info2rail, your freight train to modern media. How y'all doing today? I want to welcome you all to our show, and we have a great show for you today. We are very fortunate to have board-certified hypnotist Timothy Bartley and psychic medium Christina Hill with us today. They are going to talk with us about something new that they are doing, that they've been led by their guides to do, that could change the whole world. I am so excited. First, we're going to take a little glimpse into the missing persons. Today, I would like to dedicate this show to somebody kind of close to where I live. Her name is Brittany Drexel, and she's been missing now since 2009. And I want to dedicate this show to her. I want to get the word out there because, you know what? I want to get her and bring her home if she's still with us. And if not, I at least want to bring closure to her family. This is very close to home, and she's been on my mind a lot lately. This case, Brittany resided in Rochester, New York in 2009. She was a junior at Gates Chili High School, where she was a star player on the soccer team. Her parents are legally separated, and Brittany lived with her mother, but saw her father frequently. In April 2009, Brittany asked for her mother's permission to travel to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for spring break with her friends and longtime boyfriend. Her mother said no. They argued about it, and Brittany got permission to go to a friend's house. She went to Myrtle Beach in spite of what her mother said. Her mother was unaware of this. She thought Brittany was staying with a friend locally. They spoke several times on the telephone after she arrived in South Carolina. Brittany's mother didn't find out where her daughter really was until she was notified that Brittany had disappeared. Brittany's friends last saw her Bar Harbor Hotel in Myrtle Beach at 8 o'clock p.m. on April 25th, 2009. Brittany walked more than a mile to the Blue Water Resort on Ocean Boulevard, where other friends were staying. Surveillance cameras there showed her going into the resort, then leaving sometime after 8:30 p.m. At 9:15 p.m., she sent a text message to one of her friends saying she was going to see a friend who was staying at another hotel. She has never been heard from again. She left all her clothes behind at her hotel room. Her beige purse and pink cellular phone disappeared with her. The phone's last signal was near US 17 and the Charleston County line the night Brittany went missing. Since then, its battery has died. Peter Brazowitz, often referred to as Broswick in the media, is a person of interest in Brittany's disappearance. He is one of her New York friends and is the last person known to have seen her. He checked out of his hotel at 1 o'clock a.m., a few hours after he saw Brittany, and drove back to New York. He maintains his innocence in her disappearance. There were sightings of Brittany in Myrtle Beach area in the days after her disappearance, but the reports turned out to be a young woman who merely resembled her. There were rumors of an imminent breakthrough in Brittany's case in April of 2010. Authorities announced that they had 3 or 4 persons of interest, all of them from Myrtle Beach area, and they had obtained search warrants and given polygraph exams to these individuals. No arrests were made, however, and none of the persons of interest were publicly named. Investigators stated foul play was suspected in Brittany's case, and they believe she may have been a homicide victim. Now I'm going to post a picture of Brittany on my website, my Google Sites. Please go on there and check it out. I'm really hoping that somebody comes forward with something because, this is so close to home. Not that all these cases are not very important, but this is like 40 minutes away from where I live. And our prayers and thoughts are with her family. God is good, and I have faith that he'll bring her home. We're going to take a short break now, and when we return, we will have Tim Bartley and Christina Hill with us. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back with Tim Bartley and Christina Hill. Christina Hill is a powerful psychic medium and highly sensitive empath who is deeply committed to each client's spiritual transformation. Christina uses multiple portals to tap into sources and connect with clients' energy, including vibrational, attunement, and by channeling her own guides. Her passion and expertise for the ultimate Zen state is unparalleled as she artfully fuses her psychic gift with her angelic voice and guides clients into profound states of intense relaxation to communicate with spirit. Tim Bartley has clairvoyant abilities and has too many spiritual experiences to count. Tim has conducted many thousands of therapy sessions and is well versed in several healing modalities. Through his experience and studies, he and Christina have worked very diligently for over 3 years to produce and thoroughly test what they refer to as the ultimate Zen state. It is a process where it is possible to remove the physical conscious mind and tap directly into spirit. They have been guided by Christina's spirit guide, Athela, to change the way the world feels about channeling spirits. Athela had said that Christina and Tim were destined to meet at this time to change the world with regard to healing and to make talking to spirit a common occurrence, to take the mystery out of this. There are legions of spirits that have set this up, according to Athela, and they are now being guided step by step in the process. These are very exciting times, to say the least. Both Christina and Tim are overjoyed with the tasks and have great plans to tell the world about what they have already discovered. Hey, hi, Tim and Christina, and thank you for being on info2rail with us.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us.
Hi, Sue. Thank you so much for having us.
Can you start out by telling our listeners about you and what you do and how you came about what you do?
Sure. Would you like to start, Christina, or do you want me to?
I'm going to pass the floor to you,
Okay.
Tim. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, Christina and I saw each other for years, and I had done a coast-to-coast AM interview back in December 22nd and got bombarded with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So Christina and I worked through those people, and before that, we spent a lot of time developing something that is very unique. And what that is it's like a meditative approach to where we are able to completely shoo away the thinking conscious mind, and we're able to talk directly with someone's subconscious or inner mind. And through that process, we discovered that we can talk directly with spirit guides. And so we spent a lot of time and effort developing these techniques, and we've been working together using those techniques.
So it's been a wonderful adventure. It's been a journey and a ride coming together and really bringing the best of our talents to bring forward this work. And through our conversations, our many conversations and sessions with the guides, Tim and I were tasked with very specific instructions on how to go about doing this work, how to present it to the world. And literally, step by step, we have been guided on this path. And
yeah, definitely.
So here we are, and
we're doing it different before.
Yes.
So the way we're doing it now, we've kind of been guided or told to do it this way.
Right. This technique, yes, is much different from before in that here is a voice, and that voice is mine, that is able to quickly get into this state, this very deep level of relaxation and opening, really, and bring forward the voice of a guide, someone's spirit, deceased loved ones, and just connect with, that other dimension. So we were told that this would be the most fluid way to accomplish this. Whereas before we were attempting to help others achieve this state, get into that state.
Yeah, that was kind of hit or miss.
And that was hit or miss. So we've come to this point, and we're so excited to be here. This is something that we've been, as Tim said, working at, researching and developing, and we're very excited to be sharing it here today.
I'm really excited to have you guys on because this is something so different and so unique that I myself have never heard of this before.
Truly, it is very unique. And what a beautiful way to offer up a sacred service. That's what's on our website. It truly is a sacred service, and something unique to this as well is it's very personalized. So people can have a one-on-one conversation with their guide.
Yeah, real time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
real, like we're talking to you.
So it's very accessible, and as Athela speaks, you'll hear her say, this is very accessible, its spirit is very close, and the goal in all of this really is to show people, to demystify this process, to show people that, in fact, spirit is here for you, very close, very nearby, for everyday things, from the big stuff to the small stuff, and that healing, it can be provided, and that we can look to the guides for everything from, stopping smoking, to losing weight, to business advice and making financial decisions, and full body healing. So a lot of this also points to what guides are able to do for us in our life, and that it's possible for everyone to have that connection.
Yeah, and Athela, Christina had mentioned Athela. That's Christina's guide, and that's the guide we work through. So basically what the process that we have today is, very quickly, within a few months, 3 to 5 minutes, I can get Christina into the state and have her guide called out and talking to us. And then the people we're working with, Athela, Christina's guide, can very quickly, maybe not instantly, but almost instantly connect with that person's guide. And that's where it starts. And like you had said, Sue, this is different. This is not a tarot card reading. It's not going to a psychic. This is like one-on-one, direct, live access to a spirit. And they connect with deceased loved ones. Hey, how are they? We get that a lot. How are they doing? And what are they up to?
Deceased pets.
Yeah, pets as well. And even pet behavior modifications, which we've used on our pets, actually.
Yes.
And they say, oh, animals are easy. So it is really special, and we're tasked to let the world know about it.
I think that's amazing. I think one of the exciting things that I've had the opportunity of going through is the fact that my dad visits me often. I know when my dad is here, my dad leaves dimes. That's what his thing is dimes everywhere.
Yes.
And he does crazy things like flickers my lights, turns my moon on my wall. Just crazy things to let me know he's here.
Yes.
Yeah, the guides actually will tell you how their deceased loved ones are attempting to communicate as well. So they'll come to you in a dream, or like you're saying, they'll flicker the lights, or you'll hear a song on the radio, but they'll tell you exactly how they're trying to get a hold of you. And then people say, hey, when this and this happened, was that really my dad or whoever? And they can verify if it was or not.
Which is an awesome validation for when you're wondering if, how close is this person to me, or, is that really going on? Just having that validation. And of course, we only have a limited picture of a client. As we work with clients, they call us up and we begin sessions. We have no prior knowledge of, that special bookstore or that special song that they keep hearing. But these little pieces of information, they come up in sessions. And when people come to us with problem, it could be like weight loss. We just did a weight loss one with a woman, and they told her, you're using the excess weight as a shield to keep relationships away. Which another question she had is, when am I going to meet my soulmate, so to speak? And they dive into it, like why the shield is there, when it came on, like, hey, this started when you were
in childhood, and then what to do to get the person to the point where they're actually able to release the weight. And when it comes to physical problems, emotional problems, there are specific, very specific reasons we're going through things. And a big difference that your listening audience should keep in mind is that every problem that we have, from our perspective, from the human perspective, it's way different than the spiritual perspective. Like, for instance, if someone has cancer, one person here in the physical plane might be like, well, why would God ever do this to me? Why am I suffering like this? And they have all those kinds of questions. But in the spiritual sense, it could be a number of reasons. Like, it could be due to karma or payback. It could be connected to a past life. It could be that you signed up for that challenge before you were even born.
In your life chart.
Yeah, or you're supposed to learn from it, or people around you are supposed to learn something from it. So it's a much broader picture than what most people ever think of. So it's not really as cut and dry as you might think.
I agree with that as well. I think that a lot of things that were put through to maybe help somebody else with something similar.
Completely, yes. And I think it's all part of we're all here, of course, Earth School, and we're here to learn certain lessons and go through those lessons in a particular order. And it's all been something that you've selected and signed up for. So that is something else to keep in mind is, where you're at on your path, you're precisely where you should be. And these are very specific things that are occurring to the benefit and for you to grow for your own, as a fellow will say, for your own personal evolution.
How is it you bypass somebody's consciousness to get to their subconscious?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? That we didn't hear that real clearly.
How is it that you bypass somebody's consciousness to get to their subconscious?
How do we get a person, their conscious mind, like, pushed to the side?
Yes.
Well, what the process is, it's a bit involved. It has a lot to do with the person really focusing on what we're saying. And we we relax them first. And a lot of it is a vocal, like we're vocal actors. We have to use our voice properly. And basically, we get them relaxed, we get them very focused mentally, and then we change our voice. We speak a lot faster, and we blow through a lot of information. Basically, what we discovered is when you tell a person what you want them to do, you do that first, and then they will do it. So basically what we're doing is basically saying overall that you're going to sleep, but your subconscious mind is going to be very, very attuned and locked in to our voice. And that's what happens. That's what ends up happening. So we shoo away that thinking conscious mind kind of in a pseudo-sleep dream state, and then we set up the communication with the inner mind. And when you do that, we both feel that thinking, analytical, I'm going to figure it all out mind is kind of a wall. It's kind of the wall between the physical and non-physical. I mean, Christina can talk to this a lot. Like, she's very, very good at staying in the now. And your conscious mind doesn't want you to stay in the now. It's thinking about the future or the past. I mean, isn't that right? What it
That's completely true, Tim. And this is a real challenge for any hypnotherapist, is working with clients who they're thinkers, and most of us are. Most of us are on autopilot. We are thinking throughout our day continuously. Thinking never stops. The chatter of the mind, it goes on and on, relentless it goes. And that is our world that we predominantly live through. And I'm a long-term, I've been doing life coaching for many years now. And what I coach people in is present moment awareness, being in the moment. It takes practice. It takes a little bit of effort, dedication on the client's part to develop a present moment lifestyle, as I like to call it. And this work, getting into this state, and we call it divine intervention. So getting down to this level where conscious mind is far away and taking a nice nap, and subconscious mind is wide awake, fully alert, and receptive. That does take some work. It's not just a on-off button. And present moment living, mindfulness, that is really kind of a portal. It's a doorway into and having access to these lower levels of relaxation where you're profoundly relaxed and conscious mind is asleep. So it's a process, and it can be achieved. It does take some dedicated effort on the practitioner's part, but is a profoundly relaxed state. And we've just found, we've researched it long enough, we've done these sessions long enough to know that most people are unable to achieve that state on the first go around, that it takes some time and some practice to get there.
It's definitely interesting because you know I understand what you mean about the fact that we go through our everyday lives thinking with our conscious minds. For me, I try to go into the meditative state, and I always fall asleep. I cannot stay awake long enough to meditate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens, and the opposite happens where people, it's like they're not listening to you and they're thinking about their own thing. Mm-hmm. That happens too.
The mind has a lot of energy. So mind activity, conscious mind activity, it has quite a pull to it, quite a power. It's I liken it to the force of a flowing river, and so that engulfed in it, and it kind of has a pull to it. So finding the off button and coming into the now, that does take some considerable effort, and it's a practice that one does every day. And repetition, it truly is the first law of learning. So just repeating this process, having that meditation practice every day can be it's long been researched, the tremendous benefits of meditation. But you were mentioning falling asleep, Sue. So if the practitioner is sitting upright, then that's something that I coach people a lot, is when they are falling off, nodding off to sleep, that they try a different position, which will allow them to sit in a meditative state but not fall asleep.
Yeah, and we do get people, I mean, it's not like, we never get people the first try into the state. But, and as you'll hear, we'd like to play you a recording we did just a few days ago from Othello, Christina's guide. But what we're tasked with is to first show the world this process, and then secondly, teach the world the process. So, it's not impossible by any means, but like what Christina was saying, it does take some effort, and but it's well worth it, because like we've had, I'll talk a little bit right now about some really interesting kind of I don't want to say weird, but maybe in left field sessions, and then Christina can pick up like where our everyday, the everyday, help that we need can be achieved through this exact same process. Like I had a woman come to me, 2-3 months ago, and she told me about 2 occurrences in her life that she didn't understand. She could not figure out what the heck happened. One was she was sleeping at night, then she woke up about 2:30 in the morning, and she had a voice in her head that said, "Go to your backyard and place a stone in the middle of the backyard." And she couldn't figure out where this thought came from, but she did that. And another one is she woke up, same thing, middle of the night, and everything was blue. I mean, like everything in her house was blue. She walked outside, everything was blue. And she had no idea why. So anyway, she goes outside. I'm talking to her guide at this point, right? So we want to figure out what the heck's going on. So her guide, and it was pieced together. It wasn't like a story like I'm telling you now, but she placed the rock in the middle of her backyard, and she looked over on a wire, and there was this big bird. And the bird was there, and then it disappeared. Then it reappeared, then it disappeared. A bunch of times. And what it turned out to be that there was, basically what it turned out to be was a disc, a UFO was flying overhead and was scanning her. And that she had been scanned her whole life. They've been looking at her and tracking her whole life.
Wow.
And we got a lot of details. I don't recall, but they told us the race of aliens and the thing with the blue thing. And the bird on the wire was not really a real bird. It was placed in her mind to keep her attention so they could scan her. So that's, there's a story for you, you know what I mean?
It's quite
And
a story, yes.
yeah, and then there was another session, and you can listen to the full session on our website, which is lightworkers.cc. And this was really interesting. I had a woman come to me for fibromyalgia, and I did 2 sessions. The first session I did not record, but I wish I would have. The second one I did record. And basically, her spirit guide, I pulled forward her spirit guide, and you'll hear me, I got the name wrong. I thought it was Ro, but it actually turned out to be Ra, which is the sun god of Egypt. And you can hear that dialogue on our website. You'll be blown away.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really cool. But basically, Ra told me that I was here to change the consciousness of the world, and Christina's been told that as well. Mm-hmm. And that, I had several past lives in Atlantis, and really, this session was supposed to be for my client, but it turned out it was really for me. And, the earth is changing, and just all kinds of really interesting information. And, so here I sit, and I'm talking to basically a god. It's like, wow, really? But those are the interesting things that come through. And then Christina was going to tell you, we have, a lot of people grapple with weight loss, alcoholism, depression, or physical problems. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, and so Tim is right. So we see the vast array, wide spectrum of clients. Some come to us, as Tim was saying, with just some really interesting experiences, phenomenon, and or wanting to connect with deceased loved ones, or what else is out there. They're wanting to explore and discover more about themselves, more about the universe. And then we do see everyday clients, clients who come to us and they
what's my path?
Right. What's my life purpose? What's my vision, for the future, and what direction should I be taking? We do get a lot of that. We also see individuals who have cancer, physical problems that range from small things such as acne to big problems, of course, like terminal illness and fibromyalgia being one, and IBS, and some of these other syndromes that come up. We recently worked with a client whose mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she wanted to connect with her guides to just learn about what the next steps should be, and following through with chemotherapy or treatments, and what else is available, and really what direction should I take from this point on. And also there was a question about if it was her time to go, that would it be fair to say that she could have a quick passing, or would it be quick, rapid, and comfortable? And just more questions about the full ride.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead. No, right. Chime right in.
Yeah, what Christina was saying, we had 2 cancer patients back to back. I put Christina in the state, and then we talked to one, then the other, and the one had terminal cancer, and it was her time to go. It was her time to go. Her exit was predestined, and they allowed her a quick exit and less painful. And she passed away 2 days later.
Yeah.
The other one was a breast cancer woman undergoing chemotherapy, radiation, and they healed her.
Yes.
Cancer-free.
Yeah.
So, talking to the guides, it's not like the guide's going to wave a magic wand and fix everything. They're a guide. They're guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
But more times than not, they do fix you. I no longer have kidney stones due to my guide. Through Christina's guide, I had this bump under my left eye. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And our pets.
Our pets have been healed and cured. Happy to report that.
So,
But truly, it is something that one should approach with an open heart and open mind, given the fact that, as Tim was saying earlier, in the spirit realm, things are much different perspective-wise. So it may very well be someone's time to pass on, to move on, and to evolve. And spirit, they are very clear about this. They see our bodies. Our souls live in these body vehicles. And when your vehicle the time is up, then it's time for your soul to move on. And so, we more often than not, though, are seeing miracle healings, and the guides are allowing for and helping aid and speed up and accelerate the healing process with clients. And we've been told many times as well that you need but ask. And just asking is something that they will say, sure, we'd be happy to step in, but you must ask. You must ask important. For it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
When I lost my dad, I think that it was a blessing because I saw the angel above his chair the day before he passed. And then right before he passed, I saw my grandmother, his mom, was holding his hand. And he passed with his mom holding his hand.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. And to see it as a blessing, that's very clear, clear vision on your part, Sue, because that's how it is in the spirit realm as well. They see it as a blessed movement, the exit, the entries, the exits. These are all blessed, sacred events, and they're necessary ones. If you're going to be human and come to this planet, then you must be willing to undergo those transitions for your own growth.
I knew where my dad was going, so it was okay. And I opened the front door and I told him to go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I told him, you are done suffering. I love you, but you're better off going home. And I just let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, to our, I don't want to say to our surprise, but it is kind of grandiose what I'm about to say. But, and this didn't come forward immediately, but what's going on with us is we've been guided. Like I said, the way we were doing things is way different than the way we're doing things now. And we've been told, Athela, Christina's guide, has told us that we were upper level souls, and in the spirit world before Christina and I came down here, this is our life purpose. This is why we're here, to do this work, to show the world, to change the consciousness of the world, and then that this actually came down from the source, from God. And there's many spirits that are backing this whole process. And I had asked Athela if she would speak to that. So it's not just myself and Christina telling everybody what I just said, that you can hear it from Athela. So what I've done is I prepared, it's about 4 minutes, it's an audio. Christina is in the state, and Athela is moved forward, and she is basically saying things along the line of what I had just told you. And if it's okay, I would love to play this for your audience. I think it'd be kind of blown away by it. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
All right, I will do that right now. I'll do that right now.
It is a critical, pivotal time, so that all may come together and learn that spirit, the realm that is seemingly so distant, is in reality very close, very accessible, and these two individuals have been called to come together to provide this service, bridge this gap, to provide an avenue for healing, a way and a means for individuals to connect with their guides, to feel light, love, to experience wisdom and knowledge that have been forgotten. And further down the road, to learn how to do this process themselves, removing the need for external parties, creating it as a personalized step in the individual's evolution. Indeed, it is new, and yet it is ancient. Ancient civilizations have had this knowledge, this superior knowledge, and have used it, and have achieved great things, but we have forgotten. The humans have forgotten. And so this serves as a reminder. On the whole, there is great destruction in the world, loss of consciousness, and people have forgotten their own interconnectedness with spirit, with God's light. So this is a process. People will see it, recognize it as truth. They will be drawn to it, and then they will learn how to do it, how to use this technique. It will become more commonplace, for when there is illness or imbalance, it will become more commonplace to then stop and check in with spirit, calling on spirit for guidance, healing, empowerment. That is the direction that we are headed in now, as the great change of Earth is upon us. Thank you for listening, for taking time to be still and hear these words. Each individual should open their heart, expand their heart and their mind, and realize that Spirit is here for you, waiting for you, ready and open. And this is the first step in a series of steps that will allow humans to come into a new frontier, new awareness, new consciousness. And the shift of consciousness is already happening. It is already underway.
And there you have it.
That was
straight from
amazing.
Othello.
That was amazing. It actually entranced me to the point where you just had to listen to every word.
Well, I tell you, take it from myself and Christina, we have heard so many things we actually just like a week ago, without asking, Othello said, this is, in Othello's words, this is up there with like what Jesus Christ did to change the world. It's a big deal. We've been tasked, what's coming forward with us is books, our own TV show, documentary, to get the information to all corners of the world, and then to get the training out to everyone as well. It's a big deal, to say the least. Yes. And we're guided, to do the work, and that's what we are doing.
I've often wondered for a lot of years what my calling is from God. And it's very frustrating because I want to help people. I want to help everybody. And I know that I can't because I'm not a miracle worker of any kind. But that's something I've always wondered is, what is my journey in this world? And it's amazing when I get to talk to somebody who is directed to their journey from what their gift is to share with the world. And that's what I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to find out soon.
Yes. Yes. That's what a fantastic, just revelation there is, just seeing that the importance of having a full grasp of what your life's purpose is, having that clear vision. And this is something the guides have shared with us many times, is look at what, lights up, your passion from within. What is the rocket fuel for you in your life? And that feeling, it's really a feeling experience when you're the happiest, when you could do it all day.
I think that's when I am, very in the God zone, and that's when I'm filled up the most, and I could just stand up at the top of the world and just scream how great God is and what he's done for me, and just to be able to share with everybody just how amazing life is with God in it, and how much, he's changed my life. Just giving my faith to God, and that's when I'm filled up to the top.
That is just sheer beauty right there. So that right there says to me that you have a clear understanding of your life's purpose, because that's what we're here for, too.
It's your passion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And just something that you feel it in your body down to the bones, that this is what it is I should be doing. This is what, just fires me up, and I feel great. I feel like I could do this all day, and I could share this with others, and help light their passion. It's contagious. When people see you living your passion, they then look to the inside and they say, what is it that I love? And it spreads. So that's a wonderful revelation. I think, Sue, you mentioned, wanting to help everyone, and you're not a miracle worker. And yet here you are doing this work, and it's reaching so many. And I would hate to see you diminish the power behind that, because you are a miracle worker, and what you're sharing here, the people that you connect with and interview, and the listeners, and what they benefit and take away from this show is, that is miracle working. That's a wonderful, tremendous gift that you're giving to other people. So I applaud you for that. Really.
Thank you. And I love what I do. I absolutely love to be able to sit down and talk with people like you guys and my guests. And I love to be able to bring it to the listeners, and they get, just their excitement and what they're learning from my guests. And I get to meet new people, and I get to kind of experience their experiences through them. And I love it. That is like the most remarkable thing in the whole world for me, is what I do.
Taking the journey with them, and you had mentioned, psychics and others alike. I think there is an energy behind that too. When you're connecting with people at that level, you feel their energy. You hear the stories. You go there with them, and those experiences. That's exciting. That's tremendous.
And speaking of experiences, get an idea that if you would like to do this, Sue, if you'd allow us to do this, what would be awesome is to, anyone in the listening audience to go to our website, lightworkers.cc. You can click on the contact link, and if you would like to do a session live on your show, maybe we could do another show, and actually you can hear me place Christina in the state. You can see how I pull out her guide, and then we could go through, a few people and pull their guides out, answer their questions. It'd be awesome if we could do some physical healing and get some insights into that, and you could really experience the process. I think would be awesome.
I do too. I think that the listeners out there would absolutely love that. And I know I would enjoy that so much. And, for me, that's bringing it right to the audience or to the listeners and getting them involved. And, what you guys are doing is like so remarkable to me, and it gets me so excited to learn more and more from you guys, of what you're doing, because this could change the whole world. And that's the stuff that gets me so excited in life, is the stuff that can just make a big difference to so many people.
Yeah, and it's supposed to. I mean,
from day one, that was the plan, and that's the design. These steps, they're intentional steps that we're taking one step at a time. And Tim has moved himself all the way across the country to begin this journey here. And we were, on different life paths, and we have followed these precise instructions to come here to this point and to be speaking with you today, Sue. So I know that listeners who chime in, they want to do this work, and they're ready for it. Go to our website, and we would love to do our next visit with you, Sue. We'd love to call out your guides and communicate with your guides. Having that experience alone, it can be life-changing. It can be life-altering.
Yeah, usually.
Mm-hmm.
That's very exciting for me because, I guess my biggest thing is I watch people like Joyce Meyer, and, those are my shows. That's my morning with God, and that's what gets me excited for the day. But, I want to be up there, and I want to be talking to these people, and I want to be motivating these people. But, I'm trying to be where God wants me to be. And if that's behind the microphone doing what I'm doing, I'm excited to do that as well. But it's just, it's what you guys are doing is is amazing. It's like a dream come true. So I feel so blessed that you guys took the time to come on here with us, because you guys are so amazing, and I hope.
Thank you so much, Sue.
I hope someday that
we both feel equally as blessed. We were just, we had a quick prayer, quick moment before we came on here, and just coming back to the now, right back to the present moment, and you could feel this pulsating energy. And I looked at Tim and I said, "This is such a blessing. This is a blessed day." And we just feel honored. We really do, Sue. Thank you so much for having us on your show. And thank you to all who are listening as well, and coming to us, with an open mind, open heart. And we're excited to come back and to just demonstrate, just show what this is all about, how it works, and just share the process with everyone.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited too. I think that's going to be great. And, believe it or not, you guys are going to get a lot of responses on this, because this is stuff that people, so many people these days, and what goes on in this world, they need healing, and they need, they need guidance. And no matter how deep they reach for it, sometimes it just feels like you're so alone. And there's just nobody there for people. And, where I live in New York. And where I live, it seems, the suicide rates are high, and just everybody feels alone, and nobody feels like there's anybody to reach out to. And, there's no answers. There's no peace. And there's no, because they just kind of feel like the world has failed them. And with what you guys are doing, you that gives so much hope, to all these people out there that just feel hopeless.
Yeah, it does. Nobody is alone. And it's not just one guide. We all have several guides. They're right next to you. And you do have to ask. If you don't ask, you won't receive. They can't just step in and do whatever.
They're not permitted to do that.
Yeah, they're not allowed to do that. And what we see this process, well, actually, we've been told, it was an intuition I actually had just a few weeks ago. Your listeners probably have heard of like remote viewing and other sources saying the world is changing and, kind of catastrophe kind of things people talk about here and there. But we were kind of told that we've kind of lost our way, and that, medical science, the way we know it now, is going to be different in the future, and that this process is going to be where you start. You don't start going to take medication. You don't go and get the surgery. You start here, because I'm telling you, you can circumvent surgery and medication. I mean, they can even do things the physical body can't do. For instance, like having a knee replacement surgery. If the cartilage is gone out of your knee, it's gone. The body doesn't replace cartilage. But guess what? Spirit guides can.
Yes.
Things like that.
We've seen people rejuvenate eyesight, come back from cancer, and have fat burned off of their body in an effort to get down to their perfect ideal goal weight. And many more miracle type healing, emotional as well. And you were mentioning, Sue, suicide rates and the destruction of the world, the seemingly endless loneliness that pervades the planet. These are things that our guides are here for us, and they're urging us to reach out and connect. And all you need to do is reach out your hand and quiet the mind. Again and again, we've been in sessions where clients are instructed on how to do this, how to quiet the mind and feel spirit, feel their guides, the presence of this other dimension. And it's felt when the mind is still. And so that is something that the world also needs to be, I believe this information needs to be taught, and we need to learn how to do that. Very much like prayer, there is a way to pray. And so these are also things, tangible skills that clients will take from sessions with us.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it's very interesting because, I can honestly say that when I turned my life over to God, my life changed in a way that I never thought life could ever change. I was never this peaceful, this happy, this content. I love my life. Every morning I wake up, and no matter what happens in my life, it's okay. It's okay. Because today's a new day. And it's a beautiful day, no matter what. And as long as I stay in that faith and in that positive, nothing negative can get me.
Yes.
And I love that feeling. And I think with what you guys are doing, you can light up the world with that,
Oh, it's the ultimate candle, just lighting up the world, as you say. And what you're speaking of, too, Sue, is that falls in the category of ultimate surrender, surrendering to God and God's will. And there is a plan for each of us, and there is a path that we are following, and it's all beautiful. And you can wake up in the morning and place your faith, place your life over to spirit, and allow this guiding light to guide you and to be with you throughout the day.
Yeah, that's true. But my perspective, lately, as strange as this might sound, I'm becoming, I guess you would say, more psychic. I'm getting very direct communication. And the way I believe this is going to go is, you do need faith and you do need your set of beliefs. But where this is going is it is direct, one-on-one communication with spirit. And as it progresses, I think it's going to progress to a point where, like, that veil between the physical and non-physical is going to become more and more see-through, more and more transparent. And I think that separation is not going to be so separate anymore. And I think this, like where we're at now, showing the world that the spirit is here. You can talk directly with them. You get direct results, direct questions answered, direct healing is just the first step. I mean, who knows what step number 15 is going to be? You know what I mean? Yes. And I think I kind of get the impression that it is going to be more of that veil just kind of disappearing.
And I think that this is what's going to open up the whole world to a whole new way of hope. I mean, we sit around a lot and we say, we ask God for all this stuff and we never get anything we want or that we ask for. But now knowing that, we can talk with our guides and be in contact with our guides, that is an amazing breakthrough that a lot of us did not know existed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we're more than excited right now. It's been shown to us, our path, and Othello said very soon, once people learn about this, it's going to be like a bullet from a gun. You just won't be able to slow it down.
Yeah, a force that's going to gain momentum and grow exponentially is what she said. So we are excited, and we're very excited to share this with the world and to show people how it can be done, and then later on when the time is correct to teach the world to do this and use this technique for everyday life.
I think it will definitely make a big difference. I mean, just having you guys on here for this short time, you have no idea. I can feel your energy, and it's amazing.
Thank you, Sue.
Yeah, thank you, Sue.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. What a privilege and an honor this has been for us.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much.
Well, I want to thank you guys because to take time out of your busy lives to be on here with us is amazing. And I cannot wait to do, our next show with our, our listeners and stuff. And I really advise our listeners out there to get on your website and, start sending you guys stuff. And I think it's going to be an amazing show.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, it's real simple. Just, lightworkers.cc. There's a contact link. And you know what, Sue, once we get, a bunch of people that would like to do that, we will, maybe with your help, we can all sit down and figure out, who we can pick. And we can pick different things, like maybe different physical things and different questions. And anybody that does hit the contact link, please just describe any physical issue, the severity, and then any questions that you would have for your guide. And we can sit down and figure it out and come back on, and everybody can actually really, check this out, see it live, and you'll be blown away. It's when we talk about it obviously it's after the fact, but when you hear the guides and how they speak, it's really not just what they say, but how they speak. Yes. It really blow you away. It really will.
Yes. It's an experience unlike anything else. And it's really the best way to show that is to simply do it and to have people experience it for themselves. And as Othello said in her words, that people recognize the truth, and the truth can be felt. So that is the experience that our clients have in session. So we're very excited to bring this to your show and to do this very soon.
Well, I have one person really close to me that I know will benefit very much from this, and that's my daughter. She's I don't even know what happened. Since she was 16, I don't know who she is anymore. I lost my daughter. I don't know if it's depression. I don't know what it is, but she's not in there anymore, and it's so bad. And, it's psychiatrists don't help. Counseling doesn't help. You just can't seem to find her. And she can't find herself. She says, I know I'm in here, but I don't know where I am. So it's been, she's 21 now. So this has been a very long, hard haul for her, just trying to come back to us from whatever happened.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it's perfect. It will be perfect insight. We can figure that out. You'll know. I mean, you will know that, and that's a great thing. We don't miss with this. The way we did it before, it was a bit hit or miss. We did a really good job, but the way we're doing it now, 100% guarantee you will be speaking with your spirit guide. The questions will be answered. You will get insight. You will get guidance. Most of the time, the healing does take place, unless there's some specific reason why it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And with your daughter, you'll know. She'll know.
Yes,
there's no doubt about it.
And the guides, they don't mince words. They're very direct, very honest and pure. And they have been known to just simply take over a session and steer the session wherever it needs to go. And if that involves having the client close their eyes and viewing perhaps something from a long time ago or an event, or seeing something that they need to see, then the guides are able to do that. They're able to do whatever needs to happen for that person's higher learning, for their evolution.
Yeah, and we just had a couple of clients. One, she's like in her mid-30s. She's very ill. She's been ill for years. And her guide said that it was connected to a past life. And then I always say, well, can you just unplug that, disconnect it, or does she need to see it? Oh, no, she needs to see it. Turns out she was a dark-skinned 14-year-old girl that was bound up and whipped to death.
Tied to a tree.
Yeah, tied to a tree. And that connection, she's held on to that. Another one was a woman grinding her teeth at night. And that was connected to a past life where she was living with her tribe in the woods, and they ate a lot of hard food, like they were chewing bark.
And she lived in an indigenous tribe in South America, in fact. So it was very specific, and she was continually being offered this plant that the tribe would chew, and she chewed and chewed way into her...
Broke her teeth.
Yeah, right through her teeth, and carried that over into her current life. And it turns out that this individual, which we did not know, of course, prior to talking with her, working with her through session, she's actually authored a few books about indigenous tribes.
Oh,
and,
yes, that's right.
Her work has extended into South America. She has a huge interest in those tribes and diversity, and so that carried over as well. But of course, the teeth grinding, something like that, we asked the guides to disconnect that experience so that she wouldn't carry that over, so she wouldn't suffer from it anymore. So they were happy to do that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are. I know a lot of people suffering physically. And for my daughter, either we're not sure if it's a problem with Huntington's disease or not. No. And that's kind of the other battling part is her biological father is dying of it. So we're not sure if that has a part in it or not.
Yes.
So
well, and it sounds to me, and just from what I hear and feel, of course, I'm an empath and a psychic myself. So when I hear you speak about these conditions, the way that your daughter has been, the way that she is now, and the sort of loss of self, the movement of not knowing where one is at, and you had mentioned her. Those are experiences, I believe that is spiritual in nature, and that is something that the guides can heal. And we call it heal and reveal, of course. So they're revealing the information and they're healing at that point. That sounds, though, like something that needs to be cleared away at the level of the soul, and is not something that you can get from a psychiatrist or from a counselor on the external level. It's something that has to be healed from within.
I believe so as well. We've tried so many different things. It just gets us no place. You know,
us when they've tried many, many things. And they come to us when they say, I've tried everything. I'm here now because I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and I want healing. So that's a perfect place to be in for you, for your daughter. And we would absolutely love to do a session with her. I think she would really enjoy it. She would take a lot from it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would too. I worry about her because at 21 she should be out there doing what 21-year-olds do, and she doesn't leave her room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll change if she wants to do this. I guarantee you that'll change.
You can expect drastic shifts. As we said earlier, miracle healing. This is something that spirit does very easily when it's correct for the individual, and they don't have something like karma to pay back, or in their life chart they've selected this challenge or difficulty. So you can expect then big changes and huge shifts as a result of meeting with the guides and what they have to offer up. They're here for everyone.
Yeah, and I can barter with them a bit too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I've heard, this physical problem's related to karma. And then I'm like, well, has that been paid back already? Yes. Well, then if it's been paid back already, then we can just get rid of that right now, can't we? Yes, and we're working on it. And they usually, physically, they use their white light, the energy of white light or vibrations. Christina's eyesight has been like 90% improved in the last month with sound vibrations. And I also, the first session I ever did was on a neuropsychologist, and she's in her mid-70s. She had a very painful hip, and she was on pain medication. And I was talking to her guides, and I got to the point where like, hey, we're gonna take this away today, aren't we? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, no, why? Well, we're trying to slow her down. She's always first in line. So I talked to them about that, and I said, well, we're recording this, and, I'm sure she'll slow down once she's heard everything you've told her. And they said, well, okay, we'll get rid of 95% of it, and then when she slows down, we'll finish it up. And we finished the session. She stood up. She stretched around a little bit, and she looked at me like with this weird look, and she's like, I'm not in any pain. And that was a couple of years ago, and she is still not in any pain.
So can spirit guides take care of like people who are, stuck with a past like abusive relationship that they just can't seem to get over or past, then put that person in their past?
Yeah, they identified patterns. Actually, they just identified one of my patterns. And they will point out the pattern to you. And we can discuss it, just like we're discussing things right now, which is the great part of this.
And at that point, when the pattern has been pinpointed and revealed, then, and this is very personalized. So this next part is what comes in the session is instructions on what you should do, steps that need to be taken, whether it's a technique, or whether it's healing, or whether it's revisiting a past life, or working, on your own, doing a meditation practice, or whatever it happens to be. They will even diet and lifestyle changes. They are very, very specific with this is what it is, and this is what you need to do to clear this away. And I'm talking specifically about relationships wise and breaking free of habitual patterns. They will provide the insight for what you are to do at that point.
I have yet to figure it out and even see it in myself, though. I mean, how stupid we get when we get into an abusive relationship we know is not right. And we know that we need to walk away and cut the tie, but what keeps us there when we know how wrong it is?
Yes. And from what our understanding is that seeing the pattern fully and seeing it for what it is half of the battle.
Yeah, or more.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So, and there's an awareness, there's also an energy in the body that is carried when one is in a pattern. And that can be cleared away as well.
Mhm.
So all things, when they begin, they grow inside, and then eventually the last step is manifestation in the body. So you'll feel it in your body as well, recognizing the pattern and what it feels like. And the guides are very quick, instantly are able to recognize patterns and bring it to your attention, and will give you concise, clear direction as to what to do to clear it away.
That is awesome, because I think that helps a lot of people. We get caught in these, I don't know. You get caught going back to the same person over and over again, even you know how it's going to end. And I have a lot of friends that come to me all the time, and they say, Sue, I can't let him go, and he's so bad to me. And what keeps people connected that way? And those patterns, we don't see them. When we're the ones involved, we don't see them. We don't see the pattern.
Yeah, you're a little too close to
You're
it.
engulfed in it at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But we just absolutely love to come back, do some live stuff, and really show everybody how this works. I think that would be awesome if we could do that sometime
We'd be
soon.
very honored to do that. I think your listeners would benefit greatly from this.
I think my listeners are going to be very excited, and you guys are going to see a lot of emails pouring in, because this is, a lot of my listeners, they get all excited about stuff like this, and especially when it's something that can change their life, in such a drastic way.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure,
we
for
would look forward to that. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely, I'm going to, push to all my listeners, get your website out there as much as we can, and get people writing into you guys. And when you guys get, enough of them, you can let me know, and we can definitely do this. I hope it's soon.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it will be.
Yes.
Yeah, we will do that as soon as we get the requests.
Oh, yes.
Yes. We'll go through them, and we'll work with you, Sue, and we'll set it up. And no kidding, I'm still blown away. Seriously. So is Christina doing this work.
Yeah.
It's like every session is different. So it is something special. It really is.
So lightworkers.cc, that's how people can find us. And it would be great, too, to hear, if you're listening to this and you're writing to us, just let us know that you heard this recording, and that you chimed into the show, and that you have an interest in coming on to the show and doing a session live with us. So that would be important information in the contact page.
Yeah,
well.
with the questions or physical types of challenges you might have, just write that out.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hit the contact page, or there's another link in the menu bar that says Start Here. That's a form that actually has your name and all that kind of thing, but it asks what physical challenges are you faced with, and then what questions you would have with your spirit guide. And then if you do it that way, you could also just type in there, I'd like to be on the show. You could do it there.
Yes.
So we could get all that information. And then, we'll pick several people. We'll contact them and get it going if we can.
I think that would be amazing. I can't wait.
Thank you so much, Sue. This has been just such a beautiful conversation with you. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thank you, Sue.
Well, I want to thank you guys, and again, you guys are amazing, and you are so blessed, and I feel so blessed that you guys took the time to come on, but you're so blessed at what you get the opportunity to do, and this is going to be big. What you guys are doing is going to be so big, it's going to change the world.
Thank you, Sue. I think the honor is all ours. I think we're so excited to give this gift to the world. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and you guys have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, thanks. You too.
Take care, Sue.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
They were amazing, you guys. You guys have to do this. You know, this is what I need for you guys to do. Okay? I need you guys to go on their website. If you have any physical ailment problems or anything that you want to talk to your spirit guide about and you want answers to, you need to go on their website. And you need to leave the message that you heard them on info2rail and you would like to be a part of the show. Let's do this, guys. We can make a show out of this. And you know what? These guys are doing amazing work. You know, this is healing. This is a new wave of the whole world. This is going to change everything. And I can honestly say I have never been so excited in my life. And this is going to be amazing. So you guys definitely get on there and do so. Well, that's all we have time for today. We post our shows on YouTube, and if you want to know more about our guests and upcoming shows, please visit our info2rail webpage. Just Google info2rail and click on our Google Sites page. And from our Google Sites page, you can also get on our YouTube as well. And that has all our archive shows. They are amazing, but let me tell you, these people that were on today, this is a whole new change in this world, you guys. This is going to change everything. I cannot tell you enough to get on there and whatever you want answers to from your spirit guides, come on, let's do this. Write in. We'll get a show done, you guys. Come on. I'm so excited. I have an amazing guest and amazing listener, so I have no doubt that their email is going to be filled up pretty soon. I want to thank you all, each and every one of you, so much for joining us here at info2rail. I would not be able to do what I love to do so much if it wasn't for my guests and you guys, you listeners, because I would not be able to do this. And I am so blessed by God and by you guys. I am just so thankful. So thank you. And I hope to see you here each and every week. We have great guests coming up, great things to talk about. So we hope to see you here. May God bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you in these uncertain times. We'll see you soon.